The colors that I want to pick up are subtle, cooler greens that I've been using on these ridge lines here, and I want to continue that down into the shadow area a little bit. And I think I need a color that's a little more staining, a little more dark. So I'm going to mix up phthalo blue with the Quin gold to make a green. And what I want to do is keep the color in the background predominantly blue since it's farther in the distance. So it's going to be more of a blue-green. I'm going to carry these tree shapes below this ridge line. And this also helps reinforce the idea of the diagonal, moving the eye down into the lower reaches of the painting here. So I'm just repeating these very short, little tiny brush strokes and then massing them together in some places to create a larger shape. Out from this forest mass, I show more individual trees. So the one thing I want to be careful of is not necessarily making individual trees, but seeing the forest before I see the trees. But out from the edges of that mass, I want to give the impression of these being trees. So I'm just going to continue working down slope here. And as I get down closer in the recesses of the shadows here, I'm going to use a cooler version of my green. As we get into the darker, cooler areas, the blue will start to predominate here. Now I'm starting to see something that's a little bit problematic is I'm starting to get a little bit of a V there. So I'm going to punctuate that area there with a few extra brush strokes so that we don't end up with some kind of a diamond shape or triangular shape that would be overly geometric or overly abstract. Even though all painting is abstract, we still want to trick the eye into thinking we're looking at something very real here. I just continue that same kind of work down into the lower portions of this ravine. So what I'm doing is carrying this forest down through here. So you can see where there may be water that cascades down during a snow melt or where there's a fault line or something like that. So it gives us that topography of that landscape through there. So it's changed the character of that area quite a bit by just adding the dressing on top of the salad by giving us a little bit of detail and direction. So right here what I'm doing is putting this dark against this lighter area, and it really starts to highlight this bit of light here in this ridge line here. As you know, with painting, it's mainly a problem solving after a certain point. So what I'm working with is the idea of trying to accentuate my light pattern in these cliffs. So by darkening something behind the light area that I want to accentuate, it makes it seem more contrasty. So since it's close to my focal area, it helps me with that. It directs the eye again into my focal area here.